and I'm Cindy wanting to know if you have just a nugget of advice that you would give to companies lacking sales and use tax expertise as they prepare to adopt tax automation. What would be that one nugget of advice? Tram, do you want to start there?
Sure. Definitely. So I think sales and use tax has been an underserved area of practice. So with that, I mean, I'm CPA actually and an attorney, and I am kind of one of those weird people who really geek out on this stuff. So I think the key thing is finding a provider who really understands this area and really make sure they understand your needs so that, you can achieve, the level of compliance that you are needing in your organization. So that probably would be my
Thank you
best
so
advice.
much. Michele, thoughts?
Yeah, so I agree that if you don't have that expertise in-house, that finding a partner that can work through that with you is really valuable and one of the first steps. You also want to just, I always like to think about tax as like, what you're selling, where you're selling it, how much you're selling it for. So I think it comes down to really identifying your what. What are you selling? What are your products and services? Where are you located? Having all your facts straight so that when you're either trying to take that on yourself and learn it, or working with one of those partners, you know the information that you need to give them in order for them to advise you properly. So I think it's really getting a good handle on the what of it is that you're doing.
Thank you so much. And real quickly, if we can answer this one in a minute, which I know will be hard, but give us that big factor that companies often overlook, that one major area that is overlooked when preparing to implement the automation. Michele, you want to start with that one?
Sure. Yeah. I think one of the things that I find, depending on if it's the project's being led from tax or IT perspective, is that the one always leaves the other out. So if it's tax driven, they're thinking a lot about all the requirements, all the regulatory side of things, but they might fail to really think about how does this fit into my system landscape? Can I integrate here? Where are the various points of integration? What impacts would have? And then on the reverse, if you've got, a company that's, we're cloud migrations, they're going to be focused on the systems and all the components talking together, but are they going to be able to really evaluate the software from a requirement standpoint? So I think it's really making sure that both of those things go hand in hand and that you're not leaving one out or addressing it too late in the process.
Perfect. And Tram?
And I would add a third prong to that, Michele. It's what we've seen happen for many clients is the process, right? Incorporating that into their actual business to make sure as they're adding new products, making sure that they're talking to IT and tax, to say, hey, we're going to start selling these other things, or we're going to do all these other things and that communication we see does break down. So make sure all three prongs are working together to build a really good sales tax culture in the business.
Mm-hmm.